On IMDb, Real Review says Goldfinger is iconic, but not the best Bond, surprisingly cliche, and not very sexy. I really enjoy the Bond films, so rewatching in order and rating these movies is one of the activities I most looked forward to when I decided to create this IMDb account. As a fan, I must say this is an overrated Bond film. The title is catchy, Goldfinger, titles matter. The next film, Thunderball, terrible title. However, it turns out Thunderball is a much better film than Goldfinger. Personally, I think the worst thing about Goldfinger was that he travels around cheating on folks on cruise ships at Jim Rummy. What an asshole! Also, Pussy Galore, the top-billed Bond girl of the film? Yeah, not sexy. All things considered, this is a fine Bond installment with an overall weak plot, peppered with Sean Connery / James Bond performing unrealistic fight scenes with men and way too realistic abuse scenes with women. Real Review posting scoring criteria: acting, 1 out of 1. Casting, 0.5 out of 1. Honor Blackman as Pussy Galore was a mistake. Directing, 1 out of 1. Story, 0.5 out of 1. The Goldfinger character sucks. Writing / screenplay, 1 out of 1. Total base score, 4. I'm not going to keep going. They also had modifiers to add to their score, like authentic location shooting, believability and consistency, and cultural significance, leading this to a 4.5 stars, rounding up to 5 for IMDb.
Out of 10?
Yes.
Relax. You're doing too much.
On an IMDb account that you're now bragging. I'm so happy I started this IMDb account to go back and review every Bond film with a scoring model.
That's too much.
Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are back once again into the James Bondiverse, talking about Goldfinger. Andy, how are you, Winger?
Oh boy. You know, Robbie set me up again. I forgot to do the thing.
I'm Rob.
Andy. James Andy.
Very good. I was wondering why you didn't do it.
I forgot.
Yeah, I wasn't going to question it.
I goofed.
It's okay. Andy, how are you?
I goofed. So bad, Robbie.
He's just going to cry this whole time now.
The whole time. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I had never seen Goldfinger before.
I may have. I don't know. I think all these movies blend together at some point.
I think this movie is much more enjoyable than the first two. Especially From Russia with Love.
All right. From King of Prussia with Love.
Very good. Andy, what year did Goldfinger come out?
I'm so glad you asked, Robbie. That's the year of our Megazord, 1964.
That is truth.
I'm going to go top 5. And I'm looking at a different source here, so I don't know if this is global or domestic. But here we go. Number 5 was previous episode, From Russia with Love. I don't know how much it made. I'm going to say $100.
From the former Soviet Union with Lust.
Very good. Number 4 is The Carpetbaggers.
Andy, I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
Well, I mean, it's just people who, you know...
They bag carpets for a living.
Yeah, they put carpets in bags, man.
Yeah, you buy your carpet from the store and they put it in the bag after you check out.
Yeah.
Like, this is not big enough. This is just a grocery bag.
Yeah, it's like a plastic bag and it rips. You're like, damn it. Number 3 is this episode, Goldfinger.
Oh, silver digit.
Very good.
Thank you.
Number 2 is My Fair Lady.
My Foul Woman. Like, instead of like
very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. How about your unfair man.
I guess that works, but you still just use the word fair.
Unfair is a different word, Robbie.
I know, but it feels like you really lazied out the joke by not finding a synonym for an antonym for fair and just using unfair.
I'll just never be good enough, will I, Robbie?
No, you won't. That's the problem. You're finally learning.
Well, number 1 was Mary Poppins.
Oh, Gary Poppins. Just the guy named
Very
Gary.
good. Oh,
It's
now
the guy
who's
that made
now
a clean
now who's
house.
lazy, Robbie? Now who's lazy?
Me. I'm the lazy one. Yeah, me this time. At least, but I followed up with an impression of Gary Poppins going, "Hey, I'm gonna clean your house. Let me come in. I'll sing songs to your kids and I'll clean your house. Is that cool with you? How about Poppins the birds over here? I'm Gary Poppins."
Does Mary Poppins clean the house? Is that what she
Yeah,
does?
she's a fucking maid.
Is she?
Have you never seen Mary Poppins?
It's been a very, very, very long time. I thought there were chimney sweeps.
Yeah, there are chimney sweeps. Chimney. It's Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. Penis,
You better-
penis car pussy. No, penis car lesbian. There you go.
Very good.
Did it.
You gotta get on that. Mary Poppins is a good movie. I even liked Mary Poppins Returns with Emily Blunt.
Yeah, I hear good things. I mean, I remember watching the first one when I was a wee lad.
Mary Poppins Returns was brought down by what's-his-face in the lead male role, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, he's in that?
Yeah.
And
Listen,
he's
great songwriter. He is not an actor.
He's not a singer either.
Charisma vacuum when he gets on that fucking stage.
Robbie.
What? Fuck him.
Robbie. He's our special guest on this episode.
Oh no! Why did we book him for Goldfinger?
He's a big Bond fan, turns
That's
out.
amazing.
Yeah. But he left. He left because of all the mean things you said, Robbie.
Good. I wouldn't want to interview him anyway.
Oh, he's coming back. He's pissed.
Good. Let him come
He's
back.
got
I'll
a
fuck
gun.
him up.
He's
Oh
got a
my
gun.
god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Miranda's got a gun. Have I ever told you what my biggest fear is about this podcast?
No.
Is that eventually someone like Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to start doing this exact same idea on a podcast where he starts writing songs about movies. And then all these people, I'm going to have to listen to all these media outlets go, check out this brand new, wholly original idea from Lin-Manuel Miranda. And all my friends who refuse to fucking engage with any of the shit we post are going to be sharing that shit. And then wondering why I tell them to go fuck themselves.
Well, my biggest fear of this podcast is bears.
I don't think they're going to affect this podcast in any way.
I've heard that podcasting attracts bears.
That's not true.
I mean,
You're thinking of honey.
thinking of honey. Damn
Yeah,
it.
you're thinking of honey. Yeah, you ever see Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
It's all about the honey.
Hmm.
You want to talk about Goldfinger?
I sure does.
We open up at a base of some sort, and then we see right away the inkling that this movie is sillier than the first two. James Bond swimming up with the seagull on his head.
Immediately awesome. That's great.
That was so good. And then he just gets up and just beats the shit out of some guard.
Yeah. Yeah, he cracks him right in his jejunum.
He takes off his wetsuit and has a perfectly dry tuxedo under it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going, from this point forward, I'm like, oh, they leaned into the silly here. And I think this movie is much better for it.
Yeah, and I like all these movies. Like, you know, they're all right, but I just find they're all of the same quality. I don't know.
See, I think the first two were so much more earnest than this one. And when we're opening up with the seagull on his head, and that's his whole disguise, when in theory, because it's dark out, he probably wouldn't have even needed that because he's under the water.
It's true.
I'm going, oh, we're silly. This is amazing. Because then he starts fighting these guys. You know, he goes to the club. He sees this lady shaking her titties, and a bomb goes off.
Yeah, a bomb he planted.
Yes. The guy tells him that his plane is leaving in an hour, so he's like, all right, well, let me just go fuck this dancer real quick.
Like, plane's leaving in an hour. Hold on, I gotta fuck.
The guy goes to attack him, so Bond puts the lady in front of him.
I really like the reflection in her eye.
Yeah.
That was very cool. And then like he just uses her as a human shield. Well, which
What
is
a
fine
shithead.
because she saw the guy. So
She
she's
was setting him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like whatever.
Bond fights the dude and throws him into the tub. He electrocutes him with a lamp, which is a little foreshadowing for later, and he just goes, shocking.
Yeah, we got a movie. This is a great intro.
Yeah, I was so on board with this.
Yeah.
Just him going, shocking.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then he like emphasized it. He's like positively shocking as he walks out. It was great. Great.
Just in case you didn't hear it the first time,
Yeah.
he made it funny.
Yeah.
All right, this is a banger theme.
It is. I have a question about it though. Was someone shaking this woman as she was singing? Because her vibrato is insane. It sounds like
yeah.
somebody just grabbed her by the shoulders and was like, sing.
Shirley Bassey, right? That's the singer.
I have no idea.
He loves gold. In case
Yeah.
you didn't know, because she says it like 8 times at the end of the song.
Yeah, but that high note is fucking A+, brother.
Oh, absolutely. This is a top tier Bond song. I also really love the credits playing over the gold victims.
Yeah, and they got like projections on them. That's very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. That is something, we see the gold here and we see the gold in a little bit on the woman, but I don't think they use that enough because then that never comes back
Yeah,
to
they
them
did
suffocating people with gold.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
If we learned anything, this dude fucking loves gold.
Yes, he does.
Loves it.
You know, like I've always liked, Austin Powers
Yeah.
because, we grew up with that. But until watching this and it really like resonated. I was like, oh, pussy galore, a lot of vagina. That's fucking gold. That's hilarious.
I said the exact same thing. Yeah. I was like, oh, now it makes sense. Pussy galore. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I always knew the name Pussy Galore, but for some reason, I never put the 2 and 2 together until watching this.
Same, Robbie.
We're in Miami Beach at a resort. I really dig the music in this overall. It's not just the theme song. I think overall the music in this movie is really strong.
Yeah, I like the music in the last one too.
We also get some really sexy music in this because there are times when like the women are just moving like wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go. Bond is getting a massage. He's approached by Felix Leiter. Felix immediately says, I see you're in good hands. This movie's all quips.
Yeah, and he goes, man talk, spank, canceled. Canceled,
He
brother.
tells her to leave for man talk. That's so funny.
And then spanks her on the way out. You're going to never work in this town again, James Bond.
That's not true.
That is correct.
I mean, as we've seen before, all you got to do is embrace conservative views and you're set for life.
Yeah. Brother.
Bond and Felix talk about Goldfinger. They watch him winning money from some guy. He's clearly cheating because he has an earpiece in. Something that this guy he's facing should see because Bond sees this earpiece from about across the resort.
Yeah, that was going to be a question, but I mean, yeah.
This earpiece was as big as my grandfather's original hearing aid.
Yeah, it's like a big old white wire.
Yeah, like, are you stupid?
Yeah. I did like how Bond is sneaking around wearing a romper. I thought that was funny.
He forces that woman to open the door.
Yeah.
She's like, sir, all right, whatever.
Yeah, she's like, that's Goldfinger's room. He's like, yep.
She's like, hey, this isn't the worst thing you're going to force a woman to do in this movie, so sure.
That is 100% correct, Robbie.
Bond finds the woman feeding Goldfinger info. Her name is Jill. He talks to her for a bit before talking to Goldfinger. I love the performance of this guy. He's clearly scared or angry when he's talking to Bond here.
Yeah, that's good.
Because he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
He talks him into raising the stakes and giving the guy $15,000. And then Bond just kisses the lady. All right.
Yeah, they do more than kiss, Robbie.
That is true, because now they're doing kisses in bed. They're listening to the radio. Did you catch this? The voice on the radio says, the president said he is satisfied. Bond turns it off and goes, well, that makes 2 of us.
I did not catch that.
I was
Yeah.
dying. That makes two of us. It's so good.
I just did a cum.
Felix calls. They schedule breakfast. As Bond is getting champagne, he's knocked out by a man wearing a hat. I wonder who that could be.
It's our job, Robbie.
Oh!
Yeah. He's in this whole movie.
And that's where the name Random Task came from in Austin Powers.
That's true. Who throws a shoe, honestly?
I'm sorry, that's a golden parody. That is such a good parody. Calling a guy a Random Task.
Robbie, would you say when you said that it was a golden parody, would you say that that was pun very much intended?
Yes.
Before he gets the champagne and is knocked out, he throws a dig at the Beatles, Robbie.
Does he? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he was like, that's like, you got to wear earplugs when you listen to the Beatles or something like that.
You know what's funny? I heard him say Beatles, but I think I was still laughing so hard at that makes two of us.
Yeah, he threw shade at our boys, Robbie, friends of the show, the Beatles.
Yeah. It's funny because this movie came out like during the height of Beatlemania in America. So the Beatles were 2 years into their run, and you're seeing the cultural impact they're having because the people who are sophisticated are shitting on the Beatles.
Yeah, they're like, oh, poo. Until they released yesterday, then they're like, no, these guys are good.
Oh, acoustic guitars? I love this now.
Yeah.
This is pretty. We can listen to this on an elevator.
Yeah. I did like how Goldfinger is set up here. Because, like, at first, you're kind of like, oh, he's like a bumbling idiot. Like, Bond got the best of him, no problem. And then it's shown that he's like a legitimate threat. Like, they knocked out Bond, killed his girlfriend with gold.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Those guys the real deal.
That's why I think this movie does a really good job with him. Because looks are very deceiving in this movie.
Yeah.
Because you look at him, he's a bumbling fool. He's overweight. His hair's thinning. He doesn't dress well.
But he loves gold.
He loves gold.
Yeah.
But he's one step ahead of him every time. Because even later on, when he's like, bring Bond out here. Make them think that Bond doesn't need help.
Yeah. It's good.
Bond wakes up after getting knocked out. He sees Jill covered in gold. She's dead. And Bond calls Felix. Again, like I said before, I wish they did more with this covering people in gold in this movie.
Yeah.
Bond goes to talk to M. M threatens to replace him with 008 for some reason. I wasn't really picking up why, because he was fucking Jill or something.
Well, I think they keep saying, like, you lack discipline because you're always like you'll go after the girl rather than complete your fucking mission, dude. Like, keep it in your pants, you fucking sicko. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm trying to get it wet, brother. And they're like, yo, we'll just replace you, dude.
It's called multitasking.
Yeah.
But like even here, Bond is like, well, I don't even know what the actual job is. You just tell me to meet with this woman. And he's like, that's fair, I guess.
Well, I think they're saying, like, when we ask you to meet with this woman, we're not asking you to, like, fuck her. All right, Bond? Can you just, like, do your job? He's like, I don't understand. You're not making any sense. I don't understand.
She's a woman. She has holes.
Yeah.
She has holes. I have a pole.
Nice.
Holes go in holes, M. Unless your name is Moneypenny. Because I will refuse to fuck this woman.
Yeah, he'll just...
For no reason whatsoever.
Flirts are silly. But he's like, I ain't gonna do it, though.
In fact, Moneypenny's not even a bad-looking woman. But I'm just not gonna do it.
No.
They're now at a fancy dinner. They're all talking about smuggling gold. This is one of those things, in this movie, even the bad guys are like, we're committing crimes!
Yeah. That's like, yeah. When the bad guys are like, I'm evil. And it's like, oh.
I love it.
I don't like that.
Because it's so over the top. That's why I think they're like, I've said this like 1,000 times. They went over the top with this movie, and I think it's so much for the better about it.
Yeah, I mean,
In fact, I think, now that I've seen this, I think it makes Goldmember and all the other Austin Powers movies less funny.
Yeah, because you're making fun of something that's already funny.
It's the same thing with Scary Movie and Scream, where the movie Scream was already a parody of horror films or slasher films.
Right.
So then when you made a parody of that, it was like, well, that was already tongue-in-cheek.
Right. Yeah. You know, for some reason, as I was watching this, I didn't it didn't occur to me that this was sillier. I think because I kind of see the other two as pretty silly as well. I think this one just kind of leans into it a little more, and I didn't realize that until you said it, Robbie.
Yeah, that was the one, especially when he's swimming up and you see that seagull on his head. I was like, okay, this is the kind of movie we're in now. This is the world.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I played a lot of Metal Gear Solid when I was a kid, and still do. And in Metal Gear Solid, you could hide in a cardboard box, and I think I was playing it so early in my life that I didn't see that as that's clearly a joke.
Okay.
I saw it as like, oh, what an interesting tactic. But like
Right.
as an adult, I can see like, oh, that was a joke that they put in there.
Yeah.
Also, in Metal Gear Solid 3, it's like outside in like swamps, and you could get a crocodile hat. And again, I would just wear that and be like, oh, this makes sense. But like, it's silly. That is silly.
Yeah.
So I think that has something to do with why I didn't understand that this is a silly movie until you told me.
I mean, listen, it's one of the things that they say in Austin Powers. He goes, "Who throws a shoe?" Oddjob's whole thing is he's just whipping this hat around.
I think it's absolutely hysterical that the hat does not come back to him. I think it's hilarious that he has to throw it and then he has to go get it. That is so funny to me. That is so fucking funny.
And it's always a slow walk to retrieve the hat.
He's like, all right, let me go get that. So funny. So funny to me.
Bond meets with Q. He's getting all his gadgets. I think the rotating license plate is really cool on the car. It's like valid in every country you go to.
Yeah, that was very cool.
I also like he tells him there's a smoke screen and an ejector seat, which will come back later, and I love it.
Yeah, I think this is the coolest thing they've done so far with gadgets. Like the car. The car has all these cool things. That's so cool. I enjoy it a lot.
I really loved when he's talking to Q, and he goes, yeah, and if you flip this open, there's a red button. Don't hit it.
Yeah. And he's like, why not?
Yeah, he tells him not to hit it without explaining why, and then tells him
Yeah.
it's an ejector seat. Which is funny, because if Bond was driving, and he just experimented with that red button, he would be unaffected.
Yeah.
So it's like, just tell him what it is. Don't tell him never to press it.
Yeah.
Goldfinger and Bond meet. They're going to go golfing together. Goldfinger introduces Oddjob, who's caddying for him, as his. Did you catch this?
No.
Goldfinger refers to Oddjob as his manservant. Ooh, ooh,
Uh-oh.
ooh.
Uh-oh, Robbie.
Goldfinger's fit is top tier, though.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah, I love this golf outfit. When Goldfinger sees the gold that Bond shows him, he suddenly putts like I do.
I did like how he just drops the Nazi silver or whatever the fuck it is right in front of him.
Yeah.
And his demeanor changes, like you said. I like that.
Yeah, he's just, oh, I'm coming. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then he misses like a 2-foot putt, which is incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
I also really like Bond's caddy because he's like, that's not playing by the rules. And Bond's like,
Yeah.
who fucking cares?
He's like fucking relaxed, dude. He says, I got this.
Yeah.
He's very suave here. Very suave.
Oh, yeah. Well, we see him intentionally throw the game because Goldfinger like hits his ball and loses it. And they cheat for him. But then Bond was like, actually, I know you cheated, so you lose, motherfucker.
I liked how he's like, how do you know that's not his ball? He's like, because I'm standing on it.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's good. I also like how Oddjob just like poops a ball out of his pant leg. He's like, ooh, he like lays an egg, just shakes it out of his pant leg.
Do you ever see the video online of the guy who's like, hey guys, let me show you how to get out of a sand trap every single time? And he goes, so this is what you want to do. You want to grab a ball, have that in one hand, and grab a clump of sand in one hand. Now what you say is, all right, it's coming out, and you swing your club and throw the ball out of the sand trap.
Why, that's cheating, Robbie.
Yes, it is, but sand traps are notoriously difficult because some of them are very steep.
Yes.
You play some of those golf courses in Scotland, you're basically in a ditch.
Yeah. I gotta say, like you said, all their fits. I played golf once, and it was with you, and I was in shorts and a polo, and I was still sweating my keister off. I cannot imagine playing in a full fucking suit.
I'd love to golf like that. I want that fit. I want to dress like that. I want to go to Europe and golf like that.
All right. Good luck, brother.
It's not as hot there.
That's true.
I think the hottest it gets is like 70 degrees, and they like melt.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's 70 degrees Celsius.
Oh my God.
It's 70 degrees Kelvins. I don't even know what that is. I just know Kelvins is
know.
another form.
I don't know either.
Turns out Goldfinger owns the club, which is a lot of fun. And Bond leaves the tracker with Goldfinger.
Yeah, and that's when Oddjob demonstrates his hat.
Yeah.
Like knocks the head off the statue.
That was cool.
And then he has to walk and get it. And then that's where Bond and him can just talk. Like Bond and Goldfinger. They're like, all right, well, he's away.
The power of the hat is something that is very confusing to me. Because we watch it fully decapitate a ceramic statue, no issues.
Yeah.
But then it hits people in the head, and they don't even bleed.
Yeah, but they are dead.
Well, some of them die. Some of them are just knocked out for a little bit.
Who was knocked out? I thought everybody died. I mean,
Maybe
he only hit the lady.
Oh, right? Yeah, you're right. Maybe he just has bad aim. Yeah, she fucking died, brother.
Yeah.
Goldfinger and Oddjob are driving through the country. Bond is following him. A woman passes him on the road. He will not be having that. These fucking female drivers gonna cause accidents.
Yeah.
Goldfinger stops to buy fruit. The woman shoots at Bond as he's watching Goldfinger. I guess that's to either alert Goldfinger he's watching him or something.
Well, they explain it later.
Yeah. Okay, so the woman keeps trying to get Bond's attention. He tells her to just pass him, and then he uses the tire thing to fuck up her tires.
Yeah, and then he's like, are you okay?
I can't believe that happened. Oh my God. And then he immediately tries to flirt. He's like, actually, you're a blonde.
Yeah.
I tried to kill you with my car weapons, but now I'm looking at your titties.
Yeah. There he is.
He leaves her at a gas station and goes back to work.
Well, he even says to himself, he's like, discipline, Bond, discipline. It's like, he's like, oh, I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm getting sidetracked. There's boobies and I'm sidetracked.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bond stakes out a factory. He looks through the window and he sees all the people melting gold. Goldfinger, this is when we start hearing all the criminals talking about committing crimes. Because he's like, smuggling is an art form.
Yeah.
I almost went to the Connery impression, and then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm doing Goldfinger.
Yeah.
So I should smuggling. But
okay.
Yeah, he's like, smuggling is an art form. When you're committing all these crimes, it's like, why are we saying it like that?
Yeah.
I love embezzling money from companies.
Yeah.
The woman from before trips off the alarm. Turns out she's Jill's sister. Tilly. Someone shoots at Tilly and Bond. They run from some henchmen. Bond uses the smoke screen from before, and it makes the henchmen crash their car.
That's where he was like, well, why'd you shoot at me? And she was like, I wasn't. I was shooting at Goldfinger. And he's like, well, then you're a terrible shot.
Bond uses the oil slick, causing an explosion, which is amazing, because those guys are so fucking dead.
Yeah, that one guy that, like, they drive off the cliff, and the car just explodes as soon as it becomes airborne. Like, as soon as the four tires lift off the ground, it just explodes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tilly runs. Oddjob kills her with his hat, which is amazing. We see a henchman. It is rude. It is very rude to kill someone with your hat.
Yeah.
The henchman takes Bond hostage. Bond uses his ejector seat, and I love that the ejector seat is not over the top. He doesn't go flying 40. He goes, boom.
Yeah, it's like a little spring. Yeah. It goes like 5 feet in the air, maybe.
I love it's because it's such a realistic ejector seat for a car. It's like, this is the most force we'd physically be able to have.
Yeah, I also like that it's clearly a dummy. I love dummy work. It's
me
so
too.
great
Yeah.
to me.
It was funny when I first saw them fall out. My first thought was like, why was there a parachute? And Laura had to go, that was the part of the car that broke off. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a moment like before he does that, like he turns like to escape, and the guy is still just sitting there with the gun to him, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, shoot him. But
interesting, you're pulling that red button out, huh?
Yeah, then he pulls the red button
I'm sure
and he
that
looks
doesn't
at the
do
guy.
anything.
he like looks at the guy, and the guy's like, "What is that?" Like, shoot him, shoot him, and then he launches him out, and that was cool. And then we get a really cool chase.
Yes. We got a cool chase. An old lady shoots at Bond a bunch of times. And then
Whose Nan is that?
I have no idea. I loved the old lady just shooting a
That
fucking
was good
gun.
stuff. That was good stuff.
She comes out of nowhere. It's just an
Yeah.
old lady just shooting a gun. All right.
Yeah.
And I also like, to avoid a head-on collision, Bond like shoots at the wall and then intentionally crashes into it.
Yeah, that was cool. Also, those special effects, that looks like a real building that he like smashed through, but it can't, obviously can't be,
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I guess. I mean, probably the people who worked on the movie, they probably know.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call them. Give them a call.
Well, they're probably all dead because it's old.
That's true. That's also true.
Yeah. So I guess nobody knows. You're right.
The world may never know. It's like a Tootsie Roll pop.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
Very good, Mr.
You know?
Owl.
Yeah.
We're in a lab of some kind. Bond is now tied to a machine. Goldfinger shows him his new laser, and it cuts through everything.
Yeah. Now, does that mean that laser is going like through the earth?
That's what I was wondering. It's just cutting through gold. I guess it's not strong enough to really shoot all the way through the earth. But I guess if they wanted to, they could.
Ooh. I thought that this was one of the best parts of the movie.
I agree. And this is one of those things where you always hear the trope that, and then the villain has Bond tied down while he explains his whole plan. And that's what I thought was going to be happening here. But it's actually really smart because it's just Bond explaining to Goldfinger, you probably want to keep me alive.
Yeah, like he has to use his wits because he cannot escape. And you could see that he is panicked. And that's rare. Like, you rarely see James Bond like, oh, shit.
His cock and ball is about to be sutured. So
yeah, he's like, that's my favorite part.
That's the only part of me that matters.
Yeah. Kill me, but keep my penis. Yeah, I really liked that, and I liked how he had to talk his way out of it. And like, he barely talks his way out of it.
Yeah.
Also, the trope is like, you put him in a death trap and then you leave, but he didn't even leave. Like, he was like conversing on the side.
He's like, I'll talk to you until you die. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And he's like, I know about, the plan. What is it? Like
Grand Slam or something.
Yeah, Grand Slam. And he's like, all right, it's a name you might have heard. I don't give a shit. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, well, he's like, you have no context. Oh no, you heard the name.
Yeah, and he's like, well, then they'll send 008. He'll just take my place. He's like, all right, I'll kill him too. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I was like, this is good stuff.
Yes, and we also get the iconic line, do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
I really enjoyed that. I have a question. How come no Bond villain has just shot him in the dick?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, they drank Bond after all this. I would have also just shot his dick off. Like, all right, you know what? He's alive. He ain't got no dick.
And then he'll lose his will to live.
Exactly.
Because he's just
beating James Bond.
Yeah. Well, you ever see Casino Royale?
No. Wait, which one? The Woody Allen one? Or
no, the
Daniel
good one,
Craig
Robbie. The good one.
So the Woody Allen one.
Robbie! Daniel Craig. It's the best Bond movie. There, I said it. That I've seen.
It.
Yeah, it's the best one I've seen, and I haven't really seen too many. But Casino Royale's where it's at. There is a thing with balls in there, but we'll get there, in 30 years.
Yeah. As long as we get to see some balls.
Yeah, brother.
Bond wakes up.
I'm sorry.
You don't see balls in movies that often. I even feel like they'll show cock, but they don't show balls.
I think it's just funny, the sentence you said. As long as we get to see balls is very.
But you
funny.
don't see balls in movies. I always feel like, and I'm obviously gonna look at, but I feel like in movies where they show cock, I feel like now I'm wondering, is like, are balls edited out? Because like even in Deadpool, previous episode, we see cock. I don't remember seeing ball.
I don't know. I honestly don't remember seeing cock. I think we talked about it.
When he's fighting, you see it's flopping around.
I missed it.
Yeah.
I was too busy with my you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Robbie?
Bond wakes up. We meet Pussy Galore. She holds him at gunpoint, and he's like, ooh.
Yeah.
He's holding a gun to me.
I have a question. Did pussy mean the same thing back then that it means now?
That's absolutely what they meant. There's no way they didn't.
Right. But here's the thing. If I had a script, right?
Yeah.
And it was based on, if I had a like even now, if I had a James Bond script.
Now, I want you to remember this before you keep going. Remember, her name was Pussy Galore in the book.
Right. So if let's say I'm writing a book, okay, it's completely and it's well received, but there's a character and his name is Cum Fumbler. Are people like the editors and the publishers are going to be like, you're going to need to change that. But for some reason, Pussy Galore is just okay.
Well, I'm going to be honest. The Cum Fumbler is my favorite Batman villain.
Okay. Yeah, it was a little derivative of me.
Yeah. He's fumbling all the cum in Gotham.
I need to stop the cum fumbler.
But
he's fumbling my cum.
I don't know. Gay used to be a name.
But pussy?
Brother, I don't know. I think that's part of the joke. I think it's all part of
I get the joke. The joke's great. But how are they getting away with that, especially in 1964? Because I can't be like, oh no, it's Penis Blaster.
What are you talking about? We had a guy named Dick Van Dyke running around.
That's true. Penis car lesbian.
Very good. Very good. But
took it
I don't
slow
know.
that time, so I didn't fuck it up.
I just think it's one of those things where they were like, hey, this is a funny joke. We're going to let it slide. Fuck it. Listen, They let things slide in movies back then. When we did Jaws, that was a PG movie that showed titties.
And a shit dismemberment.
Exactly. This is a PG movie.
Yeah. And there's a character named Pussy Galore.
Like, there's a character named Pussy Galore. There's gross assaults in this movie. There's racism in this movie.
Yeah.
And, like, some of it you go, yeah, okay, this is it's the 1960s. But also, Pussy Galore is like, off the bat, that's not a PG name.
No, it is not. But there's like a Bond movie named Octopussy.
Incredible. Never even seen it. But you know what? If a woman's got 8 pussies...
Color me there.
Yeah, exactly. Me and all the boys.
Oh, man.
It turns out Bond is on a plane to Baltimore. He orders a martini. Pussy Galore, it turns out, is a pilot. This is pretty progressive for 1964 to have a female pilot.
Yeah, a team of them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, even if the name is Pussy Galore.
Yeah.
Because even today, there aren't a lot of female pilots.
They look like the Nova Corps.
They do look like the Nova Corps.
Yeah.
But you know how you could tell there are so few female pilots today?
Why is that?
The small number of air crashes.
When I asked why is that, I knew what you were going to say.
I say that, I would never be able to fly a plane. If you put me in a plane, that thing is crashing within minutes.
Yeah, no, I ain't. I'm afraid of heights. That's what I'll say. That's my contribution to this conversation. How do you like it, Robbie?
It's the old George Carlin bit. I think it's George Carlin where he says, it's not heights I'm afraid of. It's falling from them.
Classic Georgie Carls.
Very good. Is that what he's called? Is that what people call him?
That's what we called him.
This is a community of you now.
Yeah, me and the other, Eddie Murphy,
who
else?
Richard
Pryor.
Okay, who else? I'm noticing a pattern. Who else?
Sam Kinison,
Oh, okay, the pattern broke. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just old famous comedians,
Oh, you all hanging out together.
Yeah. Me and the boys.
Yeah, you, Red Fox, right?
Yeah.
I'm back on the pattern you were going with originally.
Yeah, I see.
Bond goes into the other room, and he realizes Mei Ling is watching him. I really like this scene when he constantly blocks her view with different things. Like he uses the shaving cream, he
Yeah.
puts the one thing in front of this, and each time her head like pops back
Yeah,
like
she's
she's
like, huh?
surprised.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
That's also very 60s movie making, where it's like we've also got to show her reaction so we know that she can't see anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I will
He
say,
lo
speaking of 60s movie making, I remember our complaints, or my complaint of the first two was there's a lot of like watching people do regular boring things in real time. They kind of cut that in this, which I appreciate.
Yeah, we
There's
don't
not
have
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
that.
the closest we come is I thought we were about to have that when he was putting his shaving cream on here, but instead he just takes it and sprays the little
Yeah.
cap of the hole so they can't see.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And then when he walks back out, Pussy holds the gun back to him and she's like, I see you like a close shave. And he's like, you're not gonna shoot me. This whole fucking plane will go down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or what is it? You might be a good pilot, but you're not a good marksman or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I did like the close shave line.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
We see him load something into his shoe. M gets a call from Washington telling him that Bond has landed in Baltimore. We are now at the air hangar. The laughter coming from me when I saw Pussy Galore's flying circus.
Yeah.
All I was doing was the Monty Python theme song. Pussy Galore's a flying a circus. Ska-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ska-da-da-da. And I was laughing so hard, and that made the name Pussy Galore so much better. The fact that you then slapped it right on a sticker and said Pussy Galore's flying circus right here.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like a lot of couples, married couples, they have lists of baby names. I'm gonna tell my wife to put Pussy on the list of girl names.
You got to pronounce it like James Bond does. Pussy.
Pussy.
Pussy Galore.
It'll be Pooshy.
Exactly.
Pussy.
Yeah, she's very pushy. A very pushy girl.
Yeah.
Blonde flirts. As Bond flirts with Pussy, he sees Odd Job. He gets in Odd Job's car, and then we meet the flying circus, and they're all bodacious babe pilots.
Nice.
We're now in Auric Stud Farms in Kentucky. Bond meets with Goldfinger and immediately says something rude to him. Bond gets kicked into his cell.
I like how when we're in Kentucky, immediately banjo music starts playing. That's like, oh, that's what the British think of America.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well, that's what I really love. It's like, oh no, all the stereotypes are going to be represented because we go into the South, and
You got a birdie mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, I guess they're going to be fucking cousins pretty soon.
Yeah.
Felix Leiter and his partner are at a KFC when they decide to go save Bond, and I really like just seeing them in front of an old school KFC.
Yeah.
We meet a bunch of men who want their money from Goldfinger. He owes them all $1 million, but says that he can get them all $10 million if they just wait a little bit, because he has this great plan to, at first, we think he's going to rob Fort Knox.
Yeah, I like how, like, it's a presentation, right?
Yeah.
Like, he has this whole, but it's like, he's keeping them in the dark for most of it, and, like, they're like, what are you doing? And he's just like, can you just give me a fucking second to explain it? But also, like, normally nowadays when a villain is doing this, like, either somebody off screen is like pulling the switches and making all these things happen.
Yeah.
Or like it's a computer, but it's just him. So like he'll do the presentation and run back to that board and just start clicking buttons, and he's like sweating. It's so funny to me. And he has to do it all himself.
When the floor's moving, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is another scene where he says some line, because he's openly talking about being a criminal. And he goes, man has made every achievement possible, except in crime!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what?
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Bond tricks a guard, thus escaping his cell, which proved putting him in a cell was pointless other than to just show him kill a guard.
Yeah, that was the dumbest guard of all time that you
He
placed there.
fell for it.
Yeah, he just like ducks in front of the door and he's like, he's gone. What are you, a fucking baby?
We see Goldfinger convincing all the dudes that his plan will work, and then we just see Bond pop up in the little model of
Yeah,
Fort Knox.
it's part of the floor. What kind of design is this?
Well, remember, he had this whole raise up out of the floor. So there has to be some sort of space underneath it. But if you were to lower that, wouldn't that just crush and kill Bond?
I don't know. It's just a strange design.
And in this scene, he gives his whole plan, and Bond just writes down everything. No one notices the man in the window.
Yeah. Well, I like how he's writing everything down. He folds it up and he puts the chip in there, which comes back later. But like, I like how he's standing there and a mysterious pair of hands grabs his ankles and pulls. And
Yeah.
he falls. And then it's Pussy Galore. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good judo. And I was like, judo? She yanked your ankle.
Everything's judo.
Yeah, it is. That's what they keep calling everything.
One of the men that is with Goldfinger says he'll take his money now. This guy named Solo or something like that.
Oh, he did.
This is where I was like, oh, you could have used the gold here, guys.
Yeah. But no, it was just Odd Job takes him somewhere, shoots him, then throws him out.
Brother. Okay, he kills him, drives them to a dump, has the car body and the gold crushed. You have 30 minutes to move your cube.
Nice. I thought that was pretty cool, though.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like, that's probably one of the smarter ways to get rid of a body is like leave it in a car that gets junked. Like
I also love the fact that it just picks it up and Oddjob just backs the little pickup truck and then just drives the little cubed car back.
But I also liked how Bond slipped the paper with the tracker in it.
Yes.
In that guy, thinking like, oh, this is gonna, but it doesn't work out.
Right, because they lose the tracker and they're like, I guess we'll just go back to the farm.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you're like, oh, I see where this is going. And the movie's like, no, you don't. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
We have another really uncomfortable moment when the guy is being taken away by Oddjob, because did you hear what he called his servant?
You say boy?
Yeah, he goes, boy!
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Oddjob drives the crushed car back to the farm. Leiter and his partner lose track, so they just go to watch Goldfinger. Goldfinger tries to flirt with Pussy Galore and says they should get Bond to convince Leiter that he doesn't need any help. So they're like, why don't you go get him? Let's go talk to him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Bond tells Goldfinger that his plan won't work. And that's when Goldfinger reveals the ultimate plan. This is actually ingenious, I thought.
Like irradiate the gold?
Well, it's basically because he has this Chinese funder, right?
Yeah.
And the plan is basically, no, we know we can't steal the gold out of Fort Knox.
Right.
We're just going to make it worthless.
Right. And it dries up his gold.
And not only that, but destroys the American economy, so it was a win-win for both him and the person who's backing him.
Right.
So I think that's actually a really smart plan.
It is bonkers.
Yeah, it's absolutely bonkers. But that's what this movie up until this point has been bonkers.
Yeah. Also, like, they were like, oh, it's a nuclear bomb, right?
No, what does he say? It's a nuclear device.
Okay, nuclear device. So it just, like, irradiates things or it explodes? Like, I don't...
No, because I think it's one of those things, like, even if the device explodes, it might not destroy everything, but it can still turn things radioactive.
Right, okay.
It's like, if you get chemotherapy, they actually tell you not to, like, splooge in women.
Yeah, because you're radioactive.
You have spider cum.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just like this. Like, you can just make things radioactive and make it so people can't go near it or touch it.
Right.
So the plan, in theory, actually makes sense. Once he explains, like, you'll never be able to steal all that, he goes, who said anything about removing it?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, fuck.
He's quite mad, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's when we see James and Pussy go into a barn. Leiter says, that's my Jimmy. He's got this all figured out. And they just leave.
Yep.
Bond tries to F pussy galore. They do some silly, sometimes sped up fighting. I don't know if you caught that when like he
Yes.
throws her.
Well,
And
like
then
I kind of like at first it's like, oh, they're flirtatiously fighting. Like that's cool. And then it gets weird, like real
yeah,
quick.
I'm going to be polite because I'm trying to keep the podcast light. And I'm going to say she gives in to him. That's the 60s. And I'm just going to say she gives in to him to keep it light because that's not this podcast, brother.
Okay. It's yucky.
Oh, it's yucky, but I ain't going to sit here focusing on it because I'm not a fucking dweeb.
You're not a dweeb, Robbie?
No, I'm not.
I think we could. Come on, Robbie.
I don't cry about scenes in movies made 50 years ago.
Robbie.
And if you're doing that, you know what I say? Grow the fuck up.
Robbie.
What?
Robbie.
What?
You are a dweeb.
Okay,
not because
fine.
of that.
Oh, I'm a weeb.
Yeah, just generally. Fundamentally, you're a dweeb. I'm rude. I'm rude.
Very nice.
And I'm tootin'.
But we'll learn later on, he must have given her a serious dick down because she changes her mind.
Yeah, he's got a magic dick.
Yeah. The flying circus takes off. They count down to the release of the gas. Did you notice they skipped one for some reason?
No.
On the countdown, they went 5, 4, 3, 2, 0.
Huh.
And I was like, did they skip one? And Laura goes, yeah, they skipped one. I was like, why did they do that? She goes, I have no idea.
Well,
but if I will post a clip of that if I can find it on social media to prove for whatever reason they totally skip one. And if I'm wrong, then I'm gonna be wrong publicly. That's not the first time.
Wow. Well, Bond says during the conversation with Goldfinger, he says that nerve gas is fatal. He says that.
But then Goldfinger's like, nah, it's not going to kill him. It'll just knock him out for 24 hours.
Oh. Okay.
But then again, I don't know why Goldfinger doesn't want to kill, but okay.
Yeah, also, did he kill all those guys in that room?
I think he did.
Yeah, I thought they were going along with this plan.
So did I. But it's also one of those things where, like, now show all those men covered in gold. Come on.
Yeah, do something with the gold.
Do the gold. That was my biggest disappointment in this movie, is that we only see one person covered in gold and that never comes back.
Yeah.
That was lame.
Yeah. Well,
I like seeing Goldfinger's men drive to the base and everyone is like falling to the ground.
Yeah.
And what's funny to me is you can almost tell that these men are faking their falls to the ground.
I didn't fully understand. How do you fake that? They released the gas.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
No. Okay, so remember at the end of the movie, at the very, very end, they're like, yeah, good thing Pussy switched out the gas canisters.
I see.
And it's like, yeah, but what made her call Washington? So basically, she called Washington and was like, hey, this is Goldfinger's plan, blah, 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 blah. So they're like, all right, so we're just going to act like we're going along with it. So this way, once his men are there, we can just wake up and beat them up.
I see. I thought she just called. I only caught the line where, she called, the president or whatever.
Yeah, no. They specifically say, like, she switched out the canisters.
Okay, this all makes all the sense on the earth.
We see Bond handcuffed to Oddjob the whole time. They use a laser beam to cut open the door to Fort Knox. Goldfinger pulls up and they set up the bomb. That's when we see all the army guys getting up, and I was dying laughing because I was like, I guess they were faking it. That's nice of them.
Yeah.
It's always nice to...
Go ahead.
It's always good to fake it to make the other person feel good.
There it is. I forgot. I've got dementia, Robbie. Even though they were faking it, they still do a pretty lousy job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's why when they were all falling, like, you saw them, like, putting their hands down to protect their fall and shit.
Right. I mean, not just a pretty lousy job stopping the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. It just turns into a big shootout.
Yeah. And, like, the bomb's still in there. like, or the device, and they closed it. So, like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's you guys fucked up, but ain't that America?
You They handcuff Bond to the elevator and send him and the bomb down into the gold. The army starts to fight. Goldfinger locks his own men in the vault along with Bond. He runs away, and I like that he cowardly changes into the U.S. Army outfit.
Yeah.
And he shoots his backer.
Yeah.
Oddjob kills Goldfinger's other henchman by throwing him from the balcony when the guy tries to run scared.
Yeah. But what's Oddjob's deal? He's just like, I'm ready to die, brother.
Dying for the cause.
Yeah.
And then Bond and Oddjob fight. I enjoy this fight because Oddjob sells a gold brick to the fucking chest.
Yeah. That's this is a good fight because he's just an unstoppable juggernaut.
He karate chops a metal pole and it cuts clean in half.
Yeah. He's the strongest man alive.
I also love that he smiles throughout the fight.
Yeah, he's got a big goofy smile throughout the fight until Bond picks up the hat, and the smile immediately, he's like, oh shit.
Oddjob is shook at seeing Bond with the hat.
That's good stuff. And I like how he dies.
Yeah, because Bond throws the hat, misses, and it gets stuck in the metal.
Yeah.
So when Oddjob goes to get it, I guess there's metal in the hat. Bond electrocutes it, and he dies. That's a cool death.
That is cool. It's good stuff. And then the bomb is stopped at 007, baby.
Oh, yeah. I also love that Bond is just going to try to rip the wire when the guy who is just called Atomic Specialist just turns it off. He just hits the off button, I guess.
Yeah. But again, it's rare that you see Bond frazzled, and I like seeing him frazzled.
Right. I think that also helps here is that it's not Bond doing everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's where we also get the reveal that Pussy Galore tipped off Washington and switched out the canisters.
Yeah.
The president wants to thank James Bond, and Felix is fully aware of Bond's alcoholism and completely enables it. He goes, I told them liquor for 3. He goes, who else is going? He goes, nobody, it's just you, brother.
He's like, all right. He starts crying. He's like, oh, I'll never get off this wagon.
Bond's on the plane. It turns out Goldfinger has taken the plane. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I also love Bond right away goes, don't shoot on the plane. I had to tell Pussy that too.
Yeah. And he does it.
Yep. Bond and Goldfinger fight. He intentionally shoots out a window. Goldfinger just gets sucked out the plane.
Legs first.
I like that he gets stuck for a second.
Yeah. So there's no potential for him to return, right?
He's dead.
But he doesn't do Bond villains come back? They come back, right?
Some of them, yeah. But then when Bond gets into the front with Pussy Galore, she's like, where's Goldfinger? And he goes, playing his golden hop.
Yeah. And as soon as that plane touches the water, it explodes.
And a fiery wreck.
Yeah.
But Bond and Pussy parachuted out, and they fuck on an island while people search for them.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's not a good time to be rescued because I'm balls deep. And you're punani.
I'm hotter than Crash 4. It's about time.
Yeah. Well,
I'm so hot the head is purple from the blood.
Jesus Christ. This movie ends very abruptly.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so cool with it.
There's
the villain dies.
Quick cuts. It's just like, and we're done. We're done.
I'm so on board with this because there are a lot of movies nowadays where the movie ends and let's wrap up all our loose ends with 20 more minutes of movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, no, run the credits.
Yeah.
But here, villain dies, they fuck, scene, fin.
Yeah. I mean, this was a lot of fun.
Oh, I agree. Is this a great movie? No. Is this a super fun movie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shan't we go to Letterboxd?
I think that's a great idea.
Should we box our letter?
I think we should box each other.
Oh, shit.
I personally think Goldfinger is a very fun movie. I think the villain is a lot of fun. He's just a schlubby dude who loves gold. His plan is over the top, but at the same time kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And we start to see this lean into gadgets and silly things that if you question it for more than a second doesn't make sense, but it's fun, like the seagull. I kind of think this is like a 3.5 stars.
Sure.
That was easy.
Yeah.
That was very easy. Yeah. On Letterboxd, it has 3.8, so we're a little lower, but I think this is a really fun movie.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of starts to lay out the template for those Roger Moore films that start to come out.
Is he the next Bond?
So
Like right after this?
No, the way it works is it's Thunderball with Connery again, and then Her Majesty's Secret Service with
with the one-off guy
with Lazenby.
Okay.
And then Bond comes back for a movie. I mean, then I always call Connery Bond. That's just my problem. And then Connery comes back for a movie, and then it's Roger Moore for a shit ton.
Yeah, he's until the 80s or something, right?
Yes, because then even Connery comes back for one more like non-canon Bond film in the early 80s. Never Say Never Again. And then after Moore, it's Timothy Dalton, and then Pierce Brosnan, and then Daniel Craig.
And then me.
Oh my God, you're going to be James Bond?
Yeah, dude, I need to learn how to act. I need to get in shape.
And you need to learn how to be a womanizer. Boy, don't try to front. I know just what you are.
Dude, if I'm good at anything, it's womanizing.
Womanizer. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I have terrible game. So you are correct.
You mean Riz? It's called Riz now, Andy.
Yeah, I got bad Riz. I walk up to ladies, I say, I like your shoes.
I walk up to ladies, I go, can you check out, hey, look at this Riz I have. And they said, that's a rash.
Wow.
I have 4 trivia questions.
I have 3.
Holy shit. I'll go first. On what hole do we see Odd Job cheat for Goldfinger on? 15, 16, 17, or 18?
15.
No.
16.
No.
17.
It is hole 17, yeah.
I fucking crushed it.
Very good.
Who was considered to play Goldfinger? Was it Orson Welles, Michael Caine, Christopher Lee, or Michael Gambon?
Orson Welles.
It was Orson Welles.
I got the vibe, same body type.
Yeah.
In golf, Goldfinger plays Slazenger 1s, but Bond found Slazenger 2, a Slazenger 7, a Slazenger... It is a 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for not making me say Slazenger 3 more times.
Yeah. Slazenger, I barely know her.
Very good.
What was Alfred Hitchcock's favorite part of this movie? The laser dick. He's going to get lasered in the dick.
I gathered.
The old lady with the machine gun. The bird hat or the odd job fight.
The old lady with the machine gun.
That's correct.
That's just great. It's just good stuff.
It's my favorite part, too.
What is Goldfinger's first name? Auric, Aurelio, Aurora, Aronis.
I think it's Auric.
It is Auric, and Auric stands for gold.
Really?
Yeah, his name is Goldfinger, and his initials AG are obviously the elemental symbol for
Gold?
silver.
Huh. Which famous director cites this as his favorite movie and owns an Aston Martin?
That's an insane favorite movie, but continue.
Favorite Bond movie, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is it Ridley Scott, Francis Ford Coppola, Stevie Spiels, or Denis Villeneuve?
I'm going to say Francis Ford Coppola.
Nope.
Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
What drink does Goldfinger offer Bond when he first gets him from his cell? A Long Island iced tea, a mint julep, a strawberry mojito, or a white wine spritzer?
That would be a mint julep.
It would be a mint julep.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it. We've done trivia.
Correction. I've done it.
I mean, you did it also, but we did it together.
Yeah, that's true. We did do it.
Did it together, Andy. Andy, you know what I did?
Did you write a song?
I wrote a song.
Yo, same, brother.
I also have a pick to flip.
Yo, flip that shit.
Call it.
Heads.
It is heads. Look at you go.
Yeah. You go first.
Sure. I'll go first. My song is called Pussy Galore's Flying Circus. As I try to do, I tried to write a Bond song. This is a very weird song. It's not really in any one key. It's kind of all over the place. But I don't know. It's very weird. It's very slow. It's called Pussy Galore's Flying Circus. And it goes like this. So that was my song called Pussy Galore's Flying Circus.
I like it. I like the chill vibes.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I just started playing around with chords. I think it sounds pretty cool, but I was like, I couldn't like nail down. Like, I was like, I guess it's an F minor. Like, I was like, I don't really know, but that's what I did. So yeah, that was my song, Pussy Galore's Flying Circus, and yeah, that's nothing really much to say other than I tried to write a Bond song, and I'm going to do that for every Bond movie we do. I'm just going to try to write a Bond song.
Okay.
Until I nail it down.
I think that with my song, I wrote kind of a Bond song, but it's about James Bond. Rather than, because it's usually about the villain. you know.
Right.
But with a little bit of rock and roll, it's not a Bond song. Um, I find my song is pretty catchy for the chorus, at least. And it's called Bond Part 3. And it goes a little something like this. James Bond chord in there at the end there, brother.
I like that a lot.
Oh, thanks.
I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was struggling for a little bit, and I was going through my notes. Not my notes, my voice recordings or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Where I have, like a billion riffs and chords and shit like that. And I stumbled upon it was like an acoustic guitar doing skiddle doodle doo dee. And I was like, oh, that's it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. So yeah, that's it. Just a song. I feel like all the like we talked about, all the James Bond songs are about the villain. I figured like let's write about James, even though there's literally almost nothing to him. He's just like, I like to fuck, I like to save the world.
He's just a red-blooded man, Andy.
I mean, all men are red-blooded, Robbie.
That's not true. That's not true.
Name one.
Fred Elm.
Fred Elm.
Yeah, Fred Elm.
He's not real, Robbie.
Oh, you know what? I can tell you who's not red-blooded. I can tell you a man who's not red-blooded.
Okay, tell me then.
Tom Selleck.
Why not?
You ever see the show Blue Bloods?
Son of a bitch.
Wow, look who's a real dope-ass, grope-ass now, huh?
He's got me.
I didn't like the term grope-ass.
I didn't love it either.
Dope-ass, rope-ass, or soap-ass, or anything but grope. But that's just what came out, brother.
Well, soap-ass would be very fitting because I constantly keep a bar of soap between my cheeks.
Dude, you must have a great smelling ass. That's weird. I didn't like that at all.
I do, Robbie.
Could you tell in my face that I didn't feel comfortable saying that?
As you said it, the smile disappeared. Robbie, what do we got going on next week there?
That's a
Robbie?
terrible question. That's an awful question because I didn't know until I actually brought up the list during your song because I genuinely didn't know. And I'm looking at it. I'm going, oh, fuck, what have we done?
What have we done?
Next week, we're doing Morbius.
Oh, shit.
I tried watching this once. I got 20 minutes and it turned it off.
Jeez, I'm crawdad.
Next week, we're doing Morbius. Oh, boy.
That sucks. That sucks for everyone. Well,
we'll never be okay.
No. You know,
that's the first time that's ever been a
on.
terrible question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but it has to do something with Spider-Man.
I think we just put it in here. I don't know why we have it here. But we have a guest listed too.
Yes, I think that's to go with his theme of being on all the things that have to do with vampires.
Yeah. So next week, Morbius.
Yeah. I have to remind him.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah.
I totally forgot we're doing Morbius. Ugh.
Well,
you know what we do for you people who listen to this podcast? We watch shitty movies like that.
Robbie said, "You people."
Yeah, the people who listen to this podcast.
Canceled.
I don't give a fuck.
Whoa!
Go ahead, cancel me. Yeah, I've already been canceled.
In what way?
I killed so many people, dude.
Robbie. Oh my fucking God. Well, let me tell you where you can find the music. You go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com. That's right, I changed it up this time. TheRoyds.bandcamp.com, and you will find all of the Royd songs, including guest songs, bonus songs, all the songs from the podcast, and all the songs we recorded elsewhere. Now, if you'd like to listen to it on a less shitty medium, you go to Spotify, you go to Deezer, you go to Apple Music, and you would search The Royds, and you will find a plethora of songs from the podcast.
You go to Note Orgy.
Is that real?
No, it's never real when I say it.
Should we make it real?
Yeah, let's make Note Orgy.
Hell yeah, brother. Hey. Yeah, so check out our music, leave a 5-star review, all that stuff. Robbie.
Yes.
The socials.
Oh, okay. You go to Instagram. You go to TikTok for as long as we can. You go to YouTube for as long as that's allowed. As long as independent media is allowed, because that will not be for much longer.
No.
You can go to Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. And you type in TheRoydsBand, there we are. You can also listen to the podcast on YouTube at The Royds Review Podcast. Give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening to us. Or you can send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. Send us some feedback, request a movie, whatever you feel like doing.
Yeah. All right. Next week, Morbius. So it's Morbin time, as they say, right?
Go Power Rangers.
Are we 2.5 years too late on this Morbius train?
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't know why. I have no idea why we put it here.
I think for shats and gaggles.
I think we just did it. I have no idea why.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen it.
I've seen the first 20 minutes, and it looks like we're going to be doing it next week. I don't know why we did this.
You know, I think...
This is a real peek behind the curtain for the listeners.
I think it'll be very funny if we watch it and we're both like, wow, this was really good. I don't know what the whole world was talking about.
I would be mortified.
You'd be morbified.
Oh, that's very good. Remember, one time we were originally going to do the Super Mario Brothers movie from the early 90s, but we couldn't find that streaming anywhere. So then we were going to do like the first couple of episodes of the Mario Super Show from the 80s. And I remember watching the first 5 minutes. I was like, I'm not doing this. Let's do something else. And that was a good thing because we wound up doing Wreck-It Ralph. So
yeah, check that episode out.
Yeah. All right. Well, next week, Morbius. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.